Nice International Film Festival. It's another day, and look who we've got here, Tooney J. Selimi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Nice.
Thank you. It's an amazing place to be.
It is. It's sunshine, wonderful people, lots of talent, and we had Joel here earlier talking about Living My Illusion. Obviously, it's something very close to his heart because it's about himself. But he went through a journey of self-discovery, and that journey of self-discovery was about being very true to himself and searching for the real person inside himself. And something that you are no stranger to doing, which is obviously helping people realize these traits in their personalities and be a better person within themselves. What was the journey like for you, seeing Joel's story unfold?
As an expert, I tend to really become present with my clients because, like life, in any moment there's something new. And sometimes that new can be really difficult for the client, and sometimes can be very joyful, sometimes can be a surprising element to it. But watching the journey between not just Joel, but also Timia, his wife Timia, it's been really incredible to observe the human experience in action. Meaning their story and the things that they went through, it's not just about them.
Yeah.
I see consistency across all of my clients. So the underlying behaviors that happen, it's actually happened to all of us. But they show up in different forms.
It's about the human condition, right?
Human condition, and I get really curious about how far and how deep we can go in our self-discovery journey.
Interesting. One of the questions that I asked Joel, obviously, about his journey of self-discovery was how he intends to move this story forward, how he intends to get this into the ether, if you like, and what the business mechanism is behind this, or is there a business mechanism behind this? Because unfortunately, in this society, something like this can be seen as skeptical content, made for a certain market, self-help driving, massive income generating. And after meeting Joel and meeting yourself and getting to know you a little better, my opinion on self-help content has changed somewhat. And I'll be the first to say I'm skeptical like anybody else when you go online and there's literally dozens of documentaries like this. But something I found very genuine about it was his stark honesty. And that was something that you kind of pulled out of him, I think. His decision was horrific. And hopefully the second part will show that there's been a positive catalyst in his life, not a negative influence going forward. But you deal with this on a daily basis. This is your bread and butter, this is your living. Something I know about being a former teacher and about being a consultant is that every time I help one of my clients, a little piece of me goes with them. So is this a rewarding aspect for you in terms of completing this journey with him and seeing this catalyst for change go forward? Or is this just another day in the office for you?
It's a bit of both. Because basically this is what I do on a daily basis. Yeah. And it's taken me 30 years to stabilize my internal energy so I don't get involved emotionally when I deal with cases that potentially may take a piece of me, as you described it. And personally, I did not choose to enter the industry of self-help, personal development, business development, leadership development, the whole categories, until I felt grounded enough within the self when I sit in a session with a client, being able to fire up powerful question to create a safe space where that brutal, dark honesty can come out. Because a lot of people are afraid of being themselves. And having been through many life adversities, and I'm not sure if you read my book, #Loneliness, where I transparently open my heart, my soul, my experiences to the world, where you basically feel like you've taken off your clothes and you're naked.
Right.
And then say, here I am, as I am. And when you face fears like that, it really changes you. And also it gives you some form of stability within the self, that you start to really understand how every experience is supporting you in being the person you are in this present moment. And what is it within the self, then you have the drive to make a difference in the world. Because when we learn something about ourselves, and surely with you, we then want to teach that to others. So it happens with our parenting. Parents learn throughout life, and then when they give birth to a child, they teach us the things that we need to know, the skills for life. So for me, in my industry, the reason I merged my technology business background with psychology and spirituality and healing was because I saw all of those facets of life are part of our life in every moment. And if we disowned one part, it will literally create this void within ourselves, which creates depression, anxiety, addictions, and the chain of negative emotions will take us into a very dark space. And in #loneliness, I call this space the caves of wretched solitude, where we are afraid to even consider that part in our brain where we bury all the things we dislike about ourselves, or all the hurt we've heard from other people, and all the judgments and all the fears, all the choices, all the decisions. And when we bring a new awareness into our life, the first step I see in all of my clients, including Joel, you start to judge yourself. Why did you do this to yourself? Forget about other people, because when we hurt ourselves, by default we hurt other people. And when we truly start on this self-discovery journey and start to understand what is it that makes us a great being, then with that space we can serve others.
Absolutely. So we look forward to seeing more of the same, and everything else that you develop that obviously helps stimulate that human condition and create that catalyst for change. There's certainly not enough content that leads somewhere. So hopefully this is something of a new direction, and maybe a model that programmers across the world can take on board, learn a thing or two from, but certainly you could do worse than see the next chapter of Living My Illusion.
It's called It's All About Me.
Shocker.
Yes. Yes, it's a shocker. Reason being because we have been innately programmed to look after other people.
Yeah.
And that trend of, like for instance, you go in the aircraft and they advise people, even parents, put your mask first, not your child. So it's the same when it comes to self-love, self-worthiness, when it comes to doing things for you first. And people find it difficult to do things for themselves first. So reversing that, and then being able, when you're stable in yourself, being able to impact and create a bigger impact in the world. And as you said, we're creating a form of trend in which hopefully it takes on around the world, where basically it leads to somewhere. And people can relate to that because, again, going back, we all want to get somewhere.
Absolutely.
So hopefully the different things that we're doing will help different people from different kind of problems and inspire them to also create their own things. So this is not just about living my illusion, because as we're seeing here at the festival, we have some incredible different concepts.
There's some great storytellers here. There's some great approaches to creating engaging content. And I really like being in the thick of this, because one of the reasons why I created the Film Network was to give a filmmaker a voice. So hopefully between the two of us, my giving the voice, you keeping them in check and on the right track, we can see some incredible filmmakers coming forward and some great stories hitting the market, and the cosmos and the human condition.
And the human condition. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers.